YouTube, Coach Rudy back with another rare video. Thanks for watching. This channel is called Performance Matters, and your performance today matters to your tomorrow. So I want to tell you about a training I did today, and I want to share with you. I want you to try it. I want you to literally try it and let me know what you think. Before we get into it, I want to tell you a little story. I live in Los Angeles. The beach is about a mile from here in Santa Monica, and I live across the street. But my place was kind of small. If you know anything about real estate in Santa Monica, damn, this shit's expensive. So the place was kind of small, 800 square feet, 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. And I found another place about 2 miles up the road, twice as big, amazing, beautiful space. Anyway, I used to walk to work in about 45 seconds because I walked out that door, down the sidewalk, I was home. Now I got to drive, it takes about 8 minutes. No big deal. Here's the story I want to tell you. When we go into this place, for some reason, people who owned this house before left in the beautiful kitchen a pie dish. You know the ones, you see them in like a diner, they have a little platform and then you put the pie in and you put the top on top. It was super cool. And I went, oh, look, a pie dish. Well, my lady, Jenny, decided she wants to keep a pie or a cake in that dish at all times because it looks so good. I'm in the middle of a cut. I worked my way down from 235. Thought I looked pretty good. Thought I was big and strong, but I was kind of fat, really. You know, you can get when you're bulking. And so I got down to like 205. Was in great shape, like 11% body fat. Oh, let me just get down to 199. I'll be in that single-digit body fat thing. But I dieted for like 6 months. I started to lose my momentum on my own anyway. And then Jenny got the pie and the cake. And in the morning I would get up and have my 7 egg whites with my 3 yolks and my sourdough bread. And then for lunch I would have my tuna with my yogurt. And then the afternoon meal would be yogurt again with a protein shake. And then for dinner I'd have like 8 or 10 ounces of ground beef with maybe a little bit of rice, you know. And then that's amazing, I'm in a deficit. And then what's happened since we moved into this place a week ago, about 8 o'clock at night, when I'm watching the Netflix or something, Jenny goes, you want a piece of pie and some ice cream? And since I had a little bit of a diet fatigue, I go, yeah. Now, remember, I got into like 204, 205. When I lost my momentum, I was up at 208. Well, guess what? A week later, I'm at 215. I swear I can gain 10 pounds in a week like that. Can you? I mean, I can walk around at 220 without trying at about almost 6 feet tall. So anyway, it's hard for me to cut that weight. So that's just a story because you may go through that as well. So my performance for the last 3 days mattered to my tomorrows, which is me being a fat fuck. All right? So that's the story. Now let me tell you about this workout. I want you to try it just as I describe it. And don't pull any punches. Let me know what you think if you try it. And also let me know what you think theoretically if you think it works. All right, I did 4 exercises today. Now, first and foremost, I'm a high volume dude, right? My early career was a bodybuilder. Later on, I was powerlifting, not very good at it, but powerlifting. And I've always been in the gym. I mean, my first time I deadlifted was 1980. First time I deadlifted 500 pounds was 1980. The last time I did it was last week. So what's that? 45 years. So I've been doing this a long time. So I've covered all the bases of high intensity, splits, bro splits, full body, Olympic lift. I've covered all that. But this is something I did today. I want you to try it because it felt really good. So the 4 exercises that I did was, my first 2 that I put together and did a superset with, I did 15-degree incline bench presses. I used to do a lot we all did, flat bench press, right? And shoulders got a little tender after 45 years of flat benching. And I've always done inclines too, but I usually in that high 45-degree angle incline. It's too high. 15, as Arnold says, is a really good, I've seen Arnold use it in the gym himself. 15 or 30 is kind of where the sweet spot. It's a longer range of motion than the flat bench. And it's a little better, you know, if you're flat benching, your humerus in your shoulder here, as soon as you go incline, it rotates in your shoulder. So for me, that bugs me. This doesn't bug me. So anyway, 15 or 30-degree incline. Try it. I think you'll like it. So I do a couple warm-up sets, And I'm trying to cut my volume. Like I said, I'm a high volume person. So I'm trying to bring my volume down because you know the literature about volume, yet recovery, intensity, etc. So I'm trying to bring my volume a little bit down. It helps if you know your 1 rep max because I want you to work at about 80%. I find that 80%, I'm pretty good for somewhere between 6 and 8 reps. So I found my 80% 1 rep max, and I worked it out where I did 4 sets of 6. So I did my warm-ups here. I did a superset with my warm-ups, and I started doing the lat pull behind me. I ended up doing 5 lat pulls. A little bit of volume on lat pulls, but it's not like it's over-fatiguing. Just keep good strict form. Try to be nice and vertical. Don't lean back too much. If you're nice and vertical, and pull the elbows down to your back pockets, you're gonna work those lats versus leaning back and working the upper back mostly. All right, so they kind of worked perfectly. By the time I was warmed up and did my 4 sets, I was kind of warmed up and finished with my inclines. So the idea about your incline on your 80% work on your incline bench, try to find a rep scheme that you know you can get 6, and usually that's somewhere between 75 and 80%. If you did 6, you could have did 12. It's not heavy enough. You want to be able to do 6, and in your mind going, I could probably do 7 or 8 if you force me. All right, so you get your 6 rep work. You do 4 sets of 6 with a superset of your lat pulls. By the time you get done, you'll be done with these 2 exercises. If you get 4 sets of 6, the next time you do this workout, you're going to do 4 sets of 7. If you succeed, then you'll do 4 sets of 8 the next workout. If you succeed, then you add 5 pounds, go back down to 6s. 6, 7, 8, add 5 pounds, 6, 7, 8. Here's the kicker. Eventually, you're not going to get that 7 or 8. So you have to stay at the 6s until you get all 6s. Stay at the 7s so you get all 7s. Stay at the 8s so you get all 8s. So you got to be patient. You got to be patient. You got to be sleeping well. You got to be eating well. You got to be injury-free. All right, so that's important. So by the time you do those 2 things, you're done. Benching, excuse me, and lat pull. My second exercise, over here, I don't think you can see it, barbell row, Pendlay rows. Stop at the bottom, pull, stop, reset, pull. Now it's not, bodybuilding version is like the Yates row where you stay in a bend over position and keep constant tension on the muscle. This has a carryover to your deadlift, to your cleans, to your snatches and all that stuff. So we're gonna start from the floor, dead weight. Now, interestingly enough, if you look at every bar that's ever been made, as I look around the room, they have these competition lines, right? You got the smooth with that first little line, then you got another line out here, and then you got a snatch grip line way out here by the collars. So I would do 2 sets out wide, add weight, 2 sets medium, and then add weight, 2 sets in the middle. So I do 6 sets. I usually add 15 pounds per set. And I would reverse pyramid 12 down to 8. I know reverse pyramid gets a lot of slack because you're doing 12, 11, 10, 9, and your heaviest weight, you're doing 8s. And some people say, why don't you just do all 8s at the heaviest weight? I guess you could do that, and I've done it before. I just like the psychological game of adding weight, but taking away a rep. Adding weight, taking away a rep. I've been doing this for a long ass time. I'm always trying to find games to make it more fun for me. Because at this age, 65 years old, and I knew this going in way back in the 80s, I was preparing for 70s and 80s. And then the literature backs it up. What you're doing in your 3rd, 4th, and 5th decade, it tills the soil, if you will, for your 5th, 6th, and 7th decade and 8th decade. So your performance today matters to you more. So for me, this is all about just longevity. So any games I can play with myself to keep me in the gym, I'm going to do it. All right, so superset. So I'll do my first set of row, and then I went over to do flat dumbbell presses. Strangely enough, a flat bench press bugs my shoulder a little bit. Inclines not so much. But dumbbell flats don't bother my shoulder. It's all about how you can change that joint angle, right? If you're in a bench press, your humerus is here. If you're in an incline, it rotates so the humerus moves in the shoulder joint, I feel. And I can go, that hurts, that doesn't hurt. So I'm gonna do the place that doesn't hurt. So dumbbells don't hurt as well. So I would do 4 sets of 10 to 12 on the flat bench, trying to keep those reps up high. And now it's superset with the bent over row. All right, so rehashing, because I've been doing a lot of talking. Rehashing, 4 working sets of 15 or 30 degree incline bench, 4 to 5 sets, including a warm up on the lat pull. That's going to get you ready for the row, which is a different set of muscle groups you're pulling. That's the vertical pull is more width. The row is more like thickness. You know, you don't want to be, listen, anyone can get abs and then turn sideways, you can't see them. You want that back to be thick. My back looks beautiful right now. I show you, but I'm fat from all the cake. But when I get down, I'll show you. So, so bench, lat pulls, pin lay, dead stop rows, dumbbell presses. I'm not giving you weights because we're all different. You're probably stronger than I am. At this age, you know, at this age, my strength is 65% of what I was when I was in my 20s and 30s. That's just the way it is. I mean, there's no way. My best bench ever was like 390. Could never get 400. I couldn't do 390 now if you held a gun to my family's head. I'd probably die at 250. So it's not what it used to be. But it's the best it can be today. And if you can do the best you can do today, your performance today will carry you to your tomorrow. Because at 70, I'd be going, I wasn't near as good as I was at 65. At 75, I will look back at 70 very fondly. You know how that goes. So there's a decline, but it doesn't have to be off the cliff. It can be a slow decline, and boom. So that's what I'm pulling for. All right. If you torture yourself and waited through this entire video, thank you. Leave me a comment. Leave me a critique. Leave me some praise, for God's sakes. Like, subscribe, and do all the stuff that the influencers do. By the way, I'm not an influencer. I mean, we have 700 people on this thing, and I work all the time. I work 60 hours a week, and most influencers don't want to work at all. They just want to be famous. Well, I wouldn't mind that either, but I work all the time, and I appreciate your support. Not that you give me anything, just watching, building this channel. I always like to say that, you know, I had my daughter, I was 15 when I had her. I'm 65 now. She's 15. Give me hell, obviously, 15-year-old girl. But she's seen me in my life. I've done some pretty cool stuff. I was in film and TV. Believe it or not, don't laugh. I taught yoga all over the world to tens of thousands of people. It's semi-famous teaching yoga if you want to Google me. And part of the reason I'm doing these videos is that down the road, she has that, she has this. Maybe she'll stumble across YouTube, although now she cringes. Maybe later in life, she'll go, oh, that was my daddy back in the day. So anyway, it's kind of a vlog for all that stuff too. Let me know about your stuff. What's going on with you? What's going on with the family? What's going on with your weight? What's going on with your job? Let me know if I can help you in any aspect. I've been through a lot. Maybe with my experience, I've been through what you're going through. Maybe I can help you with that. You know, the stoicism that hard training brings to your life can really help you through some tough times. Just this year, my sister died this year. My best friend died last week. So, you know, things happen. And it bothered me, but I was so resilient. I just kind of bounced back, almost felt guilty, bouncing back. Matter of fact, when I got the word